Welcome into We Talk Ball. This is Chris. That's Austin. Every Thursday night. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
It's what is it? What do we call it? Friday eat? No,
Friday Eve.
Friday. It is
Yeah,
Friday.
it's been a week, man. It's
And
been one of the busiest weeks I've had in a long time.
yeah, it's been a pretty rough one. It's been a pretty rough one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't check to see if our comments worked, but we'll find out in a
Hey,
minute. Got a
speaking of rough, you want to talk a little ACC tonight?
yeah. That's a rough one to get through. That is
You
a
know,
rough.
it really is. When I was throwing a shirt and stuff on for the show earlier, I was like, I feel like tonight's just going to be a negative night. And I was like, the only place that the SEC and the ACC really come together is we're all Braves country. So pulled out my old vintage Atlanta Braves hat tonight since catchers and pitchers just reported. Um, Getting ready for some baseball. This is a hat from the 2000 All Star game that was held at Fulton County Stadium. Fun fact.
I'm
Um,
so glad baseball's back, even though the spring that's not going our way already.
yeah, we ain't got to talk about that. It's just back. Let's just be happy with that, okay?
Yeah. All right. Well, we had some news break right before the show came on, and our guy Trinidad Chambliss, according to the courts in Mississippi, has granted him an injunction to be eligible to play. So, I don't know. I was talking on. We did a TikTok live earlier, and we talked about it. A lot of people upset. I don't. I haven't followed the court case. We talk about it all the time on this show. We do not follow the court cases. We don't really get into it or talk about it. I didn't follow it. I I guess my real only opinion on it is like if he really did lose a year because of a medical issue, I'm assuming he did. That's what everybody's been yelling on the Ole Miss side of things. Then maybe he should have got it. I don't know, man. It's crazy times in college basketball, college football, everything.
College sports. Like I don't. And again, we're not going to deep dive into this because I could rant about it all night. But we were talking in the group chat earlier. People were just talking about how crazy it was, and we kind of talk about these, small town judges. I mean, you made the comment the other day, the judge that made the call for Bediako from Alabama's basketball team not to be able to play. Like, hope that guy was getting ready to retire because he's done in Alabama. But if that's who you're letting, make these decisions, it's sad that college sports can't have a governing body that allows it to make rules and regulations and everything. And until they find a way to get that, uh, this is what you're going to have.
It's yeah. And then if you have that opinion, you're anti-player.
No,
You know,
I think I'm with you. Everything I know about the Chambliss situation, he missed an entire year due to a medical reason, and I'm okay with him getting another year of eligibility. What I'm not okay with is that this kid had to go to small town court to get it, and the league that he plays for can't make that decision for him.
yeah. No, I mean, I I don't get me on a rant about court cases. Anyway,
Yeah. Is this a ga- is does that how many games would you say that affects Ole Miss next season? By him being back, does he win two more games that they wouldn't have, three more games?
I think they're
And
right back into the thick of the playoff race.
really,
I do. I mean, I've been a big fan of Chambliss. I think they puts him right back into the thick of the playoff race because I mean he had a hell of a season one. The Sugar Bowl. I mean, we all watched that. Yeah, I mean, because I mean they lose some good players on defense, but I thought we've talked about it on our portal show. Got Lacey coming back. got some decent receivers, and then now you got Trinidad back. I think, yeah. But now in our group chat, Jamal brought it up. Their schedules, their schedule is. Let me look
Mm.
at it right here. Jamal text us. Yeah, I mean they open with Louisville, LSU, Florida, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't even
rough.
take into account Auburn or Vandy, which we'll get to that next week. But yeah, they got a pretty tough schedule. I don't know how to
Yeah,
think about this Ole Miss team going forward because I don't know what to think about Pete Golden. I was thinking
that's
about that today when we was doing our pre-show when we were talking about when we were going to do our top 25 coaches ranking. We're not going to put him in, are we?
not yet.
No, I just didn't know because I'm like 2 playoff wins.
I mean,
I don't know.
I listen. I hear you. I hear you. And they won the games. Nothing to say about that. But at that point in the season, everything's a fine tuned machine. Now that I'm ready to see how he does having to be the one to do the tuning throughout the off season, through spring training, through summer camps, everything. And uh, yeah, I'm not a believer yet, just because I wasn't a believer when he was at Alabama. But we'll see.
Yeah, North Dakota State is joining the big dogs, coming up from FCS to FBS.
This is a
Um,
good thing, Chris.
yeah, I mean,
Don't
I'm
don't bring
excited
your
about it.
negativity into
I,
this subject. I don't want to hear it. I've been
I'm
thinking about
not.
it all week. I'm over it.
Yeah, like as always the case with me. I got two different thoughts. Like I think this is fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm for it as far as like my viewing experience. I just man, I really don't understand FCS fans. I don't get the fascination with wanting to move up. So I mean, and I'm gonna clip this later. But I'm just letting you know, North Dakota State fans, I hope you enjoyed your national championship. I think they won it in 25, 24, 23, somewhere like that. Because it's the last one you ever win. You'll never, ever, 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 ever witness another national championship in your lifetime. So I mean, I guess cool. The people in the suits at the school get richer, but I just don't understand it. Nobody will ever get me to understand this line of thinking with the fans. I get the school side of things. I get that. It's the money. I mean, duh. If I was an administrator at North Dakota State, I would do it too. But I just don't understand the line of thinking with the fans that are cheering this on. Like I've you want to know we have the title We Talk Ball, right? Because that's what we do. We pride ourselves on being sickos. I we already know one of my sicko traits where I like to go on losing teams' message boards and venture all throughout the night when they lose a game. Here's another one. I venture FCS message boards, which is in the very dark corners of the internet. Their message boards are still like 1990s message boards. So I venture onto those. And I ventured onto a lot of them this week. South Dakota State message boards, Montana State, Montana, North Dakota State. I visited those boards, and majority of the fans that are not North Dakota State fans are pissed because they're not jumping up. And I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like I don't get the appeal of it from a fan. I just think, I mean, I don't know. I guess enjoy the bowl game in December, and maybe you get into the playoffs like James Madison did and get booty blasted in the first round. And I don't know. That's the height of your fandom wherever it go. I don't know.
No, look, I'll agree with you. Huge win for the school. You're right. Honestly, big time for the players. Even though they'll get beat up a little more, they'll still get in the spotlight. I think get a little more primetime TV play time. Um, but and I'll also push back a little bit and say, I mean, maybe you're wrong. Indiana said hold their beer. and
Yeah,
see if they in today's new world of football. I'm with you because
but Indiana's in the P2. They
fair
get
enough.
P2 money. And I do get what Jamal's saying. They won 10 natty since 2011. That includes a 5-peat and a 3-peat that might dominate the Mountain West. I don't disagree with that. I think, I guess I should add that. They get to watch a shit ton of conference championships. But Jamal makes my point, not makes my point, but makes me want to go on my rant. So they don't enjoy winning. Like, that's the number one complaint that I've seen from, like, FC, North Dakota State fans on Twitter have said, well, we're bored. Bored of what? Winning? Like, that, what? What do you, huh? I won't, man, I swear to God, if you ever hear me on this mic, if Georgia won 20, say I'm bored of winning,
We need to move up to the NFL.
slap the taste out my mouth. I'll never get bored of that, baby. I play NCAA 26. I try to, I don't get bored of winning 20 in a row. Nope. 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 Never. I'll never get bored. Bored of winning. That's wild to me.
We probably should change the subject now.
I mean, that is wild.
No,
Bored
look,
of I do get
get
the argument that some of them have said that, you know, they play the same teams every year. You know, it's the same competition. And I get that, you know, they, you know, I don't know. I do get some of the reasons they said. I will never understand. I would never understand. Jamal says we got winning, so we hired Muschamp after Urban. I guarantee you, Jamal, as a Gator fan right now, would enjoy 10 natties since 2011. And I guarantee you, I don't know Jamal very well, but I know him enough. I text him enough and talk to him enough to know that man would not be bored of 10 natties since 2011.
He said, "Put Florida in the FCS."
Yeah.
Let's
But
go.
my other point I want to make before we move on, we talked about this on the phone. It seems like there's this, and it seems like we only do it in college football because we don't do this in high school football. It seems like, you know, there's like fans that are like, I don't know. I guess the FCS label, the Division II label, the Division III label is just like, I don't know. It's like got a bad like taste to it. Like, and I don't understand that because in high school, you know, and particularly in the state of Georgia, I think all states do this, but we have different regions. We got region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 being your highest. And in the state of Georgia, 6 is very similar to SEC ball. It's the toughest region in high school football in the state of Georgia. But like every year, all our teams in all regions, they go up to the Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta and they play state title games from Region 1, or hell, from flag football, private schools, Region 1 all the way to 6. And when like Region 1 wins a state title, they don't go, I can't even remember a team in Region 1, but you know, they don't go, you know, so and so's won the Region 1 state titles, but they're not 6A. Like, no, we celebrate 1A just like we do 6A, and everybody's happy and proud. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with wanting to be an FCS powerhouse and staying that way. Like, I don't know.
I get it. It's kind of like going to the, I don't know, it's kind of like going to the NIL tournament.
Yeah.
It's kind of how we treat it. It's the NIL tournament, like in college basketball. You know, hey, you weren't good enough to make it to the big boys, so here's a little fun game. Go play.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into while we're here. So last week we did our Big 12 autopsy. Now we're moving on to the ACC. Jamal has a comment here. One of these days, I need to know the top Georgia high school prospect you guys have watched. Topic for a different day. I need to know, top Georgia high school prospect. Oh God, yeah, I would have to think about that one. I have one in my head.
Me too.
Well, go ahead.
No, that's the topic for another day.
Oh, when the hell are we going to talk about it?
I don't know. We might do a show on it. You don't know.
All right. I do have one in my head. Anyway, so yeah, we did the Big 12 last week. Now we're doing the ACC. And then we'll go Big 10 next week. No, SEC next week, Big 10 the week after. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on what we got right, what we got wrong. And we'll go with what we got right because, you know, want to prop ourselves up before we get to the bad. And
because
I
it's a
got
much shorter list.
very short list. And what's sad about what we got right is really the teams that did horrible. Because that's about the only ones we've got right. And I'm trying to pull up our standings. I really don't want to because they're pretty bad, dude. We did really bad in the ACC. But one of the ones I wrote down this in my notes. Duke, LOL. Can we count that because we had them finishing fourth?
No,
We can't. Dang it.
no.
All right. Well, then I only got two we got right out of 17.
Yeah, look, Duke got in on a. There's an asterisk
Technicality.
by that. Yeah, I have Duke, and we'll get into it more. Listed as one of the bigger disappointments.
Yeah. I was just gonna try. I was gonna try to get us three of them.
Worth a
Well, we do
shot.
have three because you have one. You have one that I didn't get right that you did though. North Carolina. I hope I can get North Carolina fans to watch this when I clip this because screw you guys. You gave me hell last year. Actually, I think I got one guy on Twitter. He runs like the North Carolina sidelines account. They got like a bunch of them. I think I got him kicked off his own page. Like they took him off of it because I got him to rage when we were discussing Bill Belichick, and he didn't like my Bill Belichick opinion. And yeah, I think we nailed that. I thought it was a joke he got hired. I never understood that hire. And yeah, it went pretty bad, dude. I
North
honestly
North
don't know how people thought that was going to go well.
North Carolina's best drive of the entire season was the very first one because I remember watching it because I think everybody was tuned into that game, and they go straight down the field, and everybody's like, "Oh no, it's Bill Belichick," and I don't think I saw another impressive drive the rest of the season.
I got nervous on that drive. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I got
I
nervous that too.
did too.
I got extremely nervous because look, I mean, we want to be right, right? And that's our thing. And when that first drive happened, my eyes got big. I was like, "Oh Lord!" Um, but yeah, it went all down here quick. I mean, they had like Michael Jordan there, Lawrence Taylor. I mean, you don't see very many public appearances from Michael. I don't see him out in the public often, like on TV or nothing. Like he ain't out there very often. Even got him to show up.
It's pretty wild, and careful saying this because I'm not saying it just to piss somebody off, but you know your team was bad when two SEC guys are sitting here talking about they remember your first drive of the season because you did nothing else memorable the rest of the year. Like
Uh,
out of the whole season, how do we still remember one drive?
I haven't ventured over there in a while because it got too depressing. But you know, my petty butt went and visited the North Carolina boards quite often last year, and they came to the realization real quick this was bad. That
Yeah.
this is not good at all. So I haven't visited in a while. I'm curious now that we're in the off season. Are they, getting optimism again? It's getting that time of the year where we get some optimism. Yeah, man, I thought we nailed that one. Another one I thought we nailed was Syracuse. I just
Yeah.
they lost so much, and I don't know that Syracuse will ever be the kind of job that can be consistent. The records, I think they are a type of thing that can just go up and down, just based on how they do in the portal. And they lost too much, in my opinion. And I remember now, what would have happened if Angeli, I think that's his name, never got hurt, the quarterback. That would have been a curious thing to see happen if he never got hurt. Um, Jamal
Yeah.
Lawson, that's so true. I saw that first drive and I was like, "Damn, Gio Lopez." I was too.
Yeah.
I was too. Yeah. And like Jamal mentions, Chapel Bill and TCU kick off in Dublin week 0 this season. We actually talked about that pre-show. We talked about that pre-show because we were lining up our conference preview shows and trying to line them up with the week before week 0 possibly. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Big year for him coming up. Big year. But yeah, Syracuse too, man. I just thought they lost too much, man.
Yeah. No, we were right on that. I'll be honest. I knew Syracuse would drop. I did think they would be a little better than 3-9
Yeah, yeah.
because
I
I
did
mean,
think better than 3-9. Where did we pick them? We had them. Of course, my iPad wants to quit working. We had them going 11th, finishing 11th.
okay. No, I mean that's about right. I mean, but to go, you know, 10-3 and then turn around and go 3-9, but
What is there any? Well, there's one in team in particular you got right that you needed to start talking about.
it's so funny. And I tried to think of how to do this. We're sitting here kind of, and we're going to get into more teams that were really just a disappointment last season, right?
Hmm.
And overall, it just feels like the ACC. Like honestly, if you go back and watch this show, it's going to sound like we trash them 90% of the show. Yet they had a representative in the national championship. And so it's kind of wild to say that. But no, I mean, man, I think even Miami was did they kind of still did their same thing to me in the regular season. They were a better football team than what they go 6-2 in the ACC. They should
Yeah.
have ran the gauntlet. They should have ran it in the ACC. I'll be honest. But I mean, get into the playoffs and you give yourself a shot, and that's what they did. And they were playing really good football. Um, some of the best trenches play, particularly on the D line, I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Particularly turning around from where I mean, that defense was bad last year.
Who knows that DC?
Yeah.
Which I liked him when they hired him. I did like him.
Um, so kudos to them, and I think the rest of it kind of played out exactly how I thought it would.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't want to, you know me, I don't want to give you too much credit, but
yeah, yeah,
you did pick them to win the ACC. But that's not what I think you're right about. I think you're right about how good they were going to be because I didn't think they would make the matter of fact. We did our bold prediction, so every year there's a couple of teams in the top 10 preseason that ends up being unranked. My pick was Miami.
yeah.
I was picking them to be unranked by season's end, as a top 10 team. And I mean, I mocked it on the show. I was like, you're gonna be wrong. You're gonna be so wrong. And they made it the national championship, man. And
And
honestly,
played competitive there.
yeah, and honestly, I guess I'll move into this. This is what I've got wrong because that's where we're gonna go next is Miami. And yeah, I just honestly, sorry, Miami fans. I had a Miami guy on our TikTok live. He is a usual. He gives me hell every chance he gets. He does not let me live it down. I hope after this show he lets me breathe because he comes in. His name's Bob. I don't know if he's watching, but Bob, if you're watching, I am sorry. I was wrong. Miami had an amazing year, all the way to the national championship. And yeah, I mean, honestly, the main reason I went against it is I didn't trust Carson Beck and I didn't trust Mario, and I thought I couldn't trust either one. But man, man,
Well,
when they lost to SMU and what was it, Louisville, I was like, oh, there we go, baby.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. To be fair, that prediction's not wrong because in the regular season that happened. You know, the
Yeah, but
games
that stretch in the playoffs,
yeah,
Aggies,
they
Ohio State, and Ole Miss.
yeah, no, that was an impressive run in the playoffs. Like there's nothing you can take away from that. Mario just had a different, I don't know, different demeanor about him
He
in the
did in the
playoffs. So
playoffs,
he just had a different demeanor about him, and which is
but he
you
looked
know what
possessed.
in the playoffs you do have to take it to a different level. I'm not saying that, but God, if he could just keep that intensity, uh,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
I'm super high on this team next year. I'm pretty high on this team next year. Watch this next year will be the year they freaking choke it away.
I don't know if I'm gonna be as high next year, so we
I don't
might
know
we
how you
might
don't
we
with Mensa. We haven't got comments in a while, and I bet the
yeah.
comments ain't working again. Jamal,
I mean,
text me if the comments are not working.
we'll kind of talk about that uh while we're talking about Mensa. Let's segment into that. I think with having Mensa, I mean, I think Duke was a disappointment.
Yeah, even
That
beating yeah.
he had nobody
Mm-mm.
around him. Like I didn't expect him to go to Duke and win a national championship, but he just had nobody around him. That's why I'm ready to see him at Miami and see what he's truly capable of.
And when I clip this, I know the Duke fans are going to come at us. I'm sorry. Hate me all you want. I'm sorry. You got into the SEC championship game on a technicality. You didn't get in. No, you didn't get in. No. Tiebreaker rules were the absolutely stupidest thing in the world, and I'm sorry. I don't know. Yell at me on TikTok. Another one I got wrong, and you could probably put this in the disappointed category too, but I'm gonna do it on the wrong one. Jamal says, "Ain't that crazy though? He had zero help at Duke and found a way to the ACC championship game." Yeah, but Jamal, I just, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to give them guys. It should have been Miami. It's ridiculous to me the tiebreaker rules in these big, but that's what happens. Overbloated conferences, you're gonna have stupid tiebreaker rules. But I think they're fixing it. Thank God. I think everybody's fixing it after the debacle last year. I think I heard Jim Phillips in an interview a couple of days back talked about that him and all the commissioners have talked about making sure that they're unified and everybody having the same tiebreaker rules. So should have been like that in the first place. Mark Fletcher Jr. and Tony would be his best weapon since entering college. Yeah, I am so hot. Like I'm not happy that he left Duke because I don't like this world, but at the same time, I'm kind of like this is going to be fun to watch. Ain't that kind of hypocritical sometimes?
Yeah.
I really hate the
Look.
portal. I really hate the
So,
non-loyalty, but I sure do love Mensa at Miami. I love Trinidad
yeah.
another year.
Yeah, that's the thing is like sometimes we want to fuss about it, but sometimes every now and then we get what we want, and it's like, you know what, maybe this isn't so bad.
No. All right, another team I got wrong. Georgia Tech. I picked them in the ACC title game. That's who I had over Miami. And man, that defense was so bad, dude. 92nd in stop rate. In 2 of their 4 losses, I didn't even remember this. And I went and looked it up today when I was researching. I was like, let me look up Georgia Tech's schedule, see how their games went. 2 of their losses, I didn't even remember this. 42 and 48 points their offense scored. And they lost.
Yeah. That's
42 and 48. That's under no circumstances should you ever lose a game scoring that many points. One where
yeah.
you're like 2 points away from 50. Um, I I told a Georgia Tech fan, we got a sub from a Georgia Tech fan because he thought I had some pretty good takes about Georgia Tech, and I told him I hope he tuned in tonight because I wanted him to listen to this part that he may not like me after this. I don't feel good about Tech going forward, man. I think this year was the year, or last season was the year that they had to show it. They had the team to show it, the offense to show it, the offense coordinator to show it. They had the quarterback, they had the running back, they had the receivers, they had the offense. This was the year to show them. No, I wasn't expecting them to win in the playoffs. I don't know that I was expecting them to even go to the playoffs, but I was like, this is the year to get you to the ACC championship game, make a little bit of noise, and then start that upward trend.
yeah.
And you went 9-4. You massively disappointed this season. Everybody talked about you as a sleeper, as a team that could be in it. I picked you in it, and then now you've lost. Your quarterback, a lot of your weapons. Then your quarterback of the future Gibson goes to Florida. Your offensive coordinator goes to Florida. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a year. This is going to be a year we look back, maybe next year or 2 years from now, and we go, that was the turning point. That's what started the downward trend for Brent Key at Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Or maybe not having the mindset of I have a great team and I've got to fight for every win helps him, and he stays focused for a whole season. But I agree with you. Last year was, I mean, I truly think that team could have gone as far as it wanted to.
I really did too.
I,
I really hadn't.
I don't know what else to say. I do think they were good enough they could have made the playoffs. Um,
I yeah.
I'm not scared to say it. Like even I think you could take that same team, go play the same schedule, and do it the right way, and think they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So
Did you have any other disappointments other than what I mentioned? The Miami for well, not Miami. Sorry, what I got wrong. Miami, Georgia Tech. Any that you think you felt like you got wrong?
no, I think honestly, I think we were. I know there's a couple other ones we're going to hit on, but um, I I miss Pitt. I fell into some. I listened to a couple of podcasts, which I
I
do, but
remember that.
I try to form my own opinion. But I got fooled into thinking Pitt was going to be a little better than they were, and I mean they still went 6-2 in ACC, and they
Yeah,
were a scrappy football team. But I think I tried to be the let that be my unsung hero, and
it was a
they were
solid
not.
verbal.
It
It
was a
was a
solid
solid.
verbal,
It was a solid verbal that got you.
man, he laid it out and just put
No,
it
I
there
listened to it. Yeah,
in black and white, and I'm like, you know what? He might be onto something.
yeah,
He wasn't.
yeah,
But
and I
hey,
think
good to know that those guys been doing it for a lot longer than we have, and they swing and miss too.
yeah. Now they did get Georgia Tech did get baby Mendoza. I don't I don't know. I mean, I feel like if he was good, Kurt Sinady wouldn't have went out and got Hoover to take the place. I will tell you though, man, I do think Georgia Tech. You're probably gonna roll your eyes because I say this for quite a few, but after Indiana, maybe I'm right. I do think Georgia Tech could be a monster if they ever got their crap together. And when I say when they get their crap together, administratively and school wise, they collectively come together and say, "Yeah, we want to win football games." I know they do things different. They they actually care about school, um, and
Yeah. Before Kirby got there, they had a national championship since before Georgia had.
that's not that funny anymore. It
I
doesn't.
was
I
just
mean,
reminding you in case
just
you'd
telling
forgotten.
you, we've won them since then, jackass. So it doesn't. Dang it! I said I wasn't gonna cuss tonight. Dang it! Well, no, we're 34 minutes in, so we're good. I found out the YouTube algorithm, if you cuss within the first couple of minutes, Snacks told me this, that it messes up your algorithm. I found that out, and I was like, "Oh man, I did
Appreciate
cuss."
that.
Yeah,
Appreciate that, you too.
yeah. So 34 minutes in though, that ain't a couple of minutes, so we're good.
You
We're good.
you two ain't even paying attention anymore.
Well, as somebody that had to change our intro music, I can assure you they're paying attention.
Right.
Jackasses. Um, Biggest surprises. How can it not be Virginia? Do you want to guess where we picked them? Because I know you ain't
Where?
gone back.
I don't remember. I was trying to remember that one.
How many teams are in the ACC? 17.
I think so.
We picked them 14th.
Wow.
Want to talk about bad, but also just to like
But
picture how crazy the ACC is.
that's like that they I don't know, man. It's like the biggest surprise slash biggest disappointment at the same time.
Virginia fans, a lot of we're gonna just piss off ACC fans tonight because I will say this: Virginia was in 8. This is wild. 8 one possession games.
Wow.
They went 5-3. I'm just gonna be blunt. They had the ball bounce their way a lot. They had the ball bounce their
Well,
way.
we kept saying that. I remember halfway through the season or so asking you like, is Virginia good? And you kept saying, they just got lucky. It's going to catch up to them. It's going to catch up to them, and
Yeah, it
and then all
didn't.
of a sudden they're 11-2, or or 10-2, and it's like,
They just kept winning.
it, but it caught up to them
Yeah, it did caught up to them against
in Charlotte.
yeah, and Charlotte against a 5-loss Duke team.
Yeah,
Now, kudos to them. They did beat a SEC team in the bowl game. So, another surprise. Do you want to know? Actually, I'll say it first. Wake Forest. You want to have any guess what we had them picked out of 17 teams?
where
16th.
I was thinking we had them pretty low.
And they went 9-4. Their Vegas
Yeah,
over under title. I mean, totals 4.5. I mean,
they
I
doubled
can't
it.
say enough good things about Jake Dickert and the job he did. Like, hell, they should have won the Georgia Tech game. If I remember correctly, wasn't that the game where they had a bad call that Georgia Tech got
Yeah, I think so.
help on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
And
that you
so I
say that,
mean, we could have been talking about a 10-3 Wake Forest team with a bowl win or bowl loss, whatever. So yeah, we could have been talking about a 10-3 Wake Forest team if things would have went that way, man. That Wake Forest and Virginia is my two biggest surprises. I don't even know who else you could have went there or went with.
if you had to pick between those two teams to do the same thing they did last year and next year,
Virginia.
really,
Only because I do actually like what Virginia did. That's gonna mess up my
you
buy or
you
sell.
just you just said
Yeah.
they got lucky. I don't know, man. I like what Wake Forest did and what Jake
I do
Dickert did.
too.
So I kind of
They
I
lost
don't
a
know.
lot though.
And I have not dug into that, so I don't know.
I dug in a little bit today.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Well,
I'll go Virginia. I do like what they did at quarterback, even though I'm not saying his name. To hell with that. That Bo kid or whatever his name is, Boa, whatever. Uh,
yeah.
so yeah. And then they also went and got that Holstein kid from Pitt.
Hmm.
So they got that quarterback battle. But yeah, I'll go them. Biggest disappointments. If people are wondering why the hell are we not talking about y'all got it wrong with Clemson? We did. No, we did. Trust me. We absolutely got it wrong with Clemson, baby. But hey, we're trying to make content. We got to stretch the show out. So got different categories. Trust me. Clemson was going to get in here. Yes, Clemson is our biggest disappointment, or my biggest, and Austin's too.
I mean, it's
Biggest,
got to be.
yeah, it's got to be Clemson is the biggest disappointment, and also one we got wrong because I think you and me individually both picked Clemson to be in the ACC title game. You picked Miami to win. I picked Clemson to beat Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean, I think it just the end of the 2024 season got me. It got me. The way Cape Klubnik was playing, the way he did against Texas, I thought he played phenomenal against it. I thought Clemson played pretty well against Texas in that
Yep.
playoff. The receivers impressed me. That one singular game just kind of like took me into the offseason. And I was like all aboard the Dabo Clemson train. And I really thought, Riley, his OC, was going to do a pretty good job. And yeah, it just failed. It just didn't. I don't know, man. It didn't go at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, that season just never got off the ground, you know. I mean, even I mean, we talk about, they played LSU tough in that first game, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is two great defenses going at it." And then you kind of get into the season, looking back at that game, you're like, maybe that was just two pretty bad teams going at it.
Yeah.
So no, man, Clemson has to be not only the biggest disappointment in the ACC, one of the biggest in the country.
We had a fan ask us on TikTok Live, a Clemson fan asked me if I ever thought Clemson would go back to whatever year they won the national championship. I can't remember now. 2019,
Hmm.
2000, something like that. And I said no, not with Dabo. I'm not. I don't understand. I get he's a national championship winning coach. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame. When he retires, we're going to talk about how he's one of the greatest of all time. He's on that list. You know, he beat Saban in Saban's prime of the Alabama years. There was a point I remember in the offseason where we had debates on was Dabo ahead of Nick Saban, or was he his equal, like a 1A, 1B thing? And I'm surprised that they keep just running this back. And he's shown no ability to adapt, no ability to let his coaches coach. Because I strongly believe that Lincoln Riley's brother, Garrett Riley, is still a good OC. I think he was held back by Dabo. And I think that's why he went and hired his little buddy, Chad Morris, because he'll run it exactly how he wants him to run it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that with the way the landscape is right now, with like the supposed super leagues coming at some point down the road, that Clemson needs to really position themselves in a really good spot that they're just going to keep running this back. Like I'm kind of surprised. Their AD seems like a smart guy. I just don't understand why they keep running it back. Maybe this year's the year. We'll get to that when we talk hot seats.
Yeah. No, look, I'm with you, man. I don't think Dabo ever gets them back. Um,
No, he ain't
look,
gonna come back.
look, I had to watch those teams play a lot more than you did back then because y'all were playing for sugar bowls and stuff back then. But um, those Clemson teams were good because he recruited some dogs.
Yeah,
Like he has some grown men, and I remember us talking about could he win without a number one draft pick type quarterback, because he had so many right there back to back to back. Um, and I think now that the game is it's changed, right? I mean, you already said it, so not to beat a dead horse, but I literally wrote down his inability to adapt to the new style of recruiting, the new style of getting in the transfer portal. He can't get the same caliber of players that he got back then, and it's catching up to him. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying, I think without the caliber of players that he was able to get, and kudos to him for getting them, I don't think those Clemson teams were as good as they made them look.
yeah. No, yeah, we've had those conversations a lot, and I'm starting to lean. I used to fight you on it. Like I used to push back on the narrative that, could he do it without Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson? And now I'm kind
Thank you,
of
dude. I've been trying to think of Deshaun Watson's name all night, and I could not think of it. Thank you.
he's
Good
an easy guy
lord.
to forget, for being
Not in
honest.
college. Not in
No,
college.
not
He
in
wasn't.
college,
Even though
in
that.
the pros.
Even though it was a pick play. Um.
He likes those back rubs
But
too.
anyhow. Um. Yeah. I don't know. I think this may be it, but we'll talk about that in the hot seat show.
I do think this is it, but who knows? I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. Yeah, yeah. Austin is a dick, Jamal. Let's just be honest, okay?
Hey, the
He is a dick.
algorithm. The
No, screw the
algorithm.
algorithm. If I don't get no views for just calling you a dick, then I'll just get no views. 'Cause you're just a dick. He's been
Facts
a.
have
I don't honestly
facts
know how I've been
have
with
no
him for 20
feelings.
years. I don't know how I've been his friend for 20 years. He's an ass. FSU. I thought they would. I think we had 8. If I remember correctly, we had them 8. They ended up further down. I really thought 7 to 8 wins. I thought they were gonna.
Yeah,
Thought they
I
were
won't
gonna.
say we I won't say we whiffed on them. We didn't think they were gonna be great,
No.
um, but they had to be better than they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I thought that season was just so wild. They had the Bama win, and the way they won against Bama, like it wasn't luck. I mean, I was at your house during that game. I remember you at the end of the game being very like you wasn't even mad because you were like, "This is just a total ass whooping,"
We got
and
beat.
there was no flukiness to it. It was total ass whooping, and it was like, "Holy shit!" And then they had like two cupcakes, and then they went on this run where they had the Virginia loss, the Miami loss, the Pitt loss. Then they go a couple weeks lose Stanford. It's like what? It's the weirdest season I've ever witnessed. I just didn't understand it. I'm like, how do you beat Bama? Which Bama had its problems at the end of the year, but it's a pretty decent team that made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Still, even though Bama wasn't the greatest team, but
It was a good team.
where you finished,
Mhm.
that's a good team for you to beat.
Yeah, considering who you lost to. And Jamal asked, does Norvell make it to Florida game next season? That's the question. I don't know, man, because here's the thing about FSU too that I wrote down. The future looks so bleak right now for FSU, man. I don't know if you've seen it, the article. I didn't read it, but the headline, unless it was clickbaity, there was a headline out there about their financials and it being super bad, like really bad. The amount of money they've lost.
They, they got Tiger Woods wearing the nose now, baby.
Yeah, they
You
may be
know,
getting, they may be coming up on some money. They've also tried to get money from Saudi Arabia's. They're broke, and I think that's why they couldn't fire him. They could not. He went 13-0, and they gave him that big a contract. Says I'm not going to give him hell. I give schools a lot of hell for a contract. Nebraska's a perfect example. They just gave Matt Rule a contract extension for what? I don't know.
yeah.
Um, why I want to be a college football coach because you can accomplish not shit and get a raise and an extension. Um,
And if you get
so
fired, you get paid.
yeah. But I can't blame FSU for giving him extension after 13-1. Isaac, yo, I'm here. That's our guy. That's our guy from TikTok.
What's
Uh,
up, man?
Yep, our Georgia Tech fan. We met on TikTok. He hit us with a sub. He's gonna have to Isaac go back after the show's over. Watch our Georgia Tech discussion, man. I think he just got out of football practice. He told me he had to go to football practice. So, yeah. But yeah, FSU, man. I just don't. I don't know what the future holds for them. They didn't fire
Yeah,
Norvell because the money issue. They're running it back. The fans are. I don't. That message boards. If you are feeling uh happy and you're feeling like you're just too happy, you need to like come down a little bit. Go to the Florida State message boards. It's pure hell. They're
yeah.
they're in shambles, and
Do you think? I mean, obviously they're coming into some, good financial situation. Are they going to use that to invest in Norvell and build on that because of the 13-0 season, or are they going to use it to get rid of him and start over? Because they got at this point, I get it. They got to be tired of starting over.
yeah, but they got to do something very similar to Clemson. I think Clemson would be fine if they move on from Dabo. I think they have enough alignment and support to move on. But I really think FSU's headed for some really dark days. I don't even know. Is that job attractive? When you factor in the money situation,
If that's getting better,
how is it getting better though?
you just said they were coming into some money.
No, I said they try to get some Saudi money.
Oh,
Yeah, they haven't got no Saudi money yet. yet
gotcha, gotcha,
They're,
gotcha,
they've they,
gotcha.
they've tried to get into private equity. I don't know if they will. They're going to have to probably because they're
Yeah,
broke.
yeah.
They are broke. I take this back, and I remember FSU fans is going to. I want to get their butts back for this because I got so much hell. It's a meaningless bowl game. I think this traces back to the Orange Bowl when Georgia absolutely stomped that butt, and like 70% of the team quit.
Yep.
No, it's not an opt out. That's just what people use, so we don't call it what it
We
really
don't
is. You
we don't
quit.
use that word here.
No, we don't. This ain't a safe space. No, you quit. That's the literal definition of not playing. Is quitting. So yeah, when they like 90% of their team quit, I was concerned then because Georgia, that was in the 14 playoff era, and I think that was the year Georgia also had a case, but I don't know. There was one year Georgia got out that they lost the SEC championship game and got bounced out, and it was only their second loss or something like that. And yeah, it was just like, Georgia had like, I think Brock Bowers was the big opt out. Other than that, Ladd McConkey played. A lot of guys played. I think
I
Stetson was
think
quarterback.
Stetson played.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played. And there was a lot of kids that just did not opt out. And I remember saying to people that time, like I was like, yeah, I'm pretty concerned for FSU going forward. I don't like that. I don't think that was good. But I got mocked and laughed at. It's just a meaningless bowl game. Well,
Yeah. I
there was
mean,
something to that.
Florida State. I mean, in next season, I mean, their schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 6 straight weeks, or let's call it 5 out of 6 weeks. You go to Tuscaloosa, you play Virginia, you go to Louisville, to Miami, and Clemson.
Mm.
5 out of 6 weeks. If the
Jeez.
money's there, that could do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jamal. He won't make it to the Florida game. No, he ain't
Yeah.
gonna make the Florida game. All right, let's end it on this. Is there a team you're buying, selling next year, or did you have? I'm sorry, I'm a horrible
No,
co-host. You didn't
you're
have
good.
anything. Uh, Austin does all this prep. I finally get him to prep, and he's like, I can't even read 90% of my notes because all you talk. I got to do a better job of that. Any
what
team you're
what
buying or selling?
what are we buying? Like what are just getting better over last year?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or it's got to be Virginia Tech, right? I wouldn't say I'm buying them to get to the top, but
No, yeah,
they're gonna
probably.
be better than 3 and 9.
Yeah, they're going to be better than 3-9. I was going to go SMU. I think SMU could be
I
back in it
I could see that.
because, like, they were like literally. I didn't even remember this until I prepped for the show. They were only like a win against Cal away from going to their second straight ACC championship game. They're
Yeah,
14-2 versus the ACC in the regular season. So I thought SMU. You're not going to like who I said selling. Who'd you have? Did you have anybody you selling? Because I don't want to. I can't even say who I had selling because it's going to make me look like a hypocrite.
sell
I,
it.
I had Virginia. I had Virginia because of the one possession games. After we just do
Yeah.
not clip that.
Yeah, don't clip that. Um right now, and keep in mind I have not done my deep dive into any of this, but I mean we already talked about a little bit, probably Tech. The schedule
Yeah,
may save them. Isaac, brought that up with I have not, like I said, I have not
I'm looking
deep
at it
dove
now.
into it. I'm only going through what I know they lost, and I know who they picked up, and I just don't think it's as good as what they lost. Losing the OC to Florida, I think is huge. Because I
Very,
mean, you take away that offense last year, and heck, how many more losses do they have?
yeah.
So
Here's their schedule. They got Colorado, Tennessee, our Mercer Bears.
let's go, Mercer.
Let's go, Mercer. Sorry, Isaac.
That's
We're both from Georgia. The co-host lives with there with the Mercer Bears.
I do. Those two schools, fun fact, are like an hour and 15,
Yeah,
20 minutes apart.
yeah. and Stanford, Duke, at Virginia Tech, Boston College, at Pitt, at Louisville, at Clemson, Wake Forest, and then at Georgia. That's
All right,
not
I might take that back. I may
that's
not
not a
sell
hard
that
schedule.
just based on that schedule alone.
That's not hard. But with what they lost though, I can see them losing to everybody but Stanford and Boston College. I mean, I could see them
Yeah.
losing to Wake Forest. I could see them losing to Clemson, Louisville, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Duke. Oh no, I'll give them Duke. I'll give them Stanford, Duke, Mercer, and Colorado. So that's four right there. I'm going to give them guaranteed fours.
Okay.
I'll even throw Wake Forest. That's five. I'll give them Wake Forest. Me personally,
All right.
I'll give them Wake Forest. That's five. So, I mean, then you got to beat Georgia, Clemson, Louisville, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Tennessee. Mm, I mean, I could see Virginia Tech first year. I'm not
Of
going to
course,
guarantee it there.
this is Brent Key. He's probably going to go out and beat Clemson and Miami, and then turn around and lose to Stanford and Boston College.
Yeah, yeah. Our boy,
hey,
I love Jamal.
hey, Jamal, we're sitting here trashing this team, man. Don't. Jamal, you missed the first part of it, man. I said since I felt like we were going to be trashing the ACC tonight, the one place that the SEC and the ACC come together is we're all in Braves country.
Yeah,
So I brought out a vintage. This is the 2000 All Star game from the All Star game when it was at Fulton County Stadium many years ago.
I like that stadium. I mean, I like the new one, but
Yeah, the new one's cool, but I,
no,
I
the new one's
miss.
great. Yeah, I just says I
Oh,
think Mendoza would be pretty solid. I was watching some of his highlights, and he matches Tech's playbook and play style. Yeah, if they're gonna, I'm assuming they're gonna kind of like run the same offense they've been running. It definitely matches Mendoza's style, like his brother style. Yeah, look, I've me and you both been high on Georgia Tech. Your
hey,
wife is,
and
yeah,
if our history shows anything, you want us to not like your team. You want us to sell your team because that probably means they're going to go to a national championship.
yeah. Because I'm telling you, I'm glad our show wasn't very big in last year because we might have got canceled for how bad our takes was. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to be on the mark this year. We're too popular on TikTok that TikTok will let you know. So, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right, man. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he's more athletic than his brother. Definitely going to be interesting to watch. Yeah, true. No, what I was going to say though, real quick, is I think Georgia Tech is got so much potential. I was not a fan of the Brent Key hire when it was made. I grown to love Brent Key, and I think he's done a phenomenal job there. Even though last year was a massive disappointment to me, I love the intensity and fire he brings to Georgia Tech. I think he was just perfect for what Georgia Tech needed at the time. I'm starting to falter on him a little bit, just because I think there's so much potential at Georgia Tech. I mean, being in Atlanta, that team should, if that administration and that school would just buy in, I strongly believe they could be. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised we didn't mention them as next Indiana's. They could be potentially be a next Indiana if they got the right hire.
I mean, never mind. Remember,
Uh,
they've won national championships before.
on that note, y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel at College Sports Crew. We got so much content. We just had our baseball show, Chasing Omaha. We got Jamal's show, the Athletes Forum podcast. I feel so bad. Jamal is in our chat every week, and I've started to watch his lives. I completely forgot his live last night. And I'm trying to be in the comments of his too, so we can hype his show up too. And I remember he texted me at I want to say it was 8:55. I got a text, and I was laying in bed, got a text, and he sent me his thumbnails to do for his segments. And I said, damn, I missed the live. Felt so bad. I'm a horrible, horrible friend to Jamal. But please check out his show. He just did a video. He's been talking a lot of college basketball, which we need on this channel. I'm so glad he's doing it. He's been doing a lot of our college basketball content and college football. He's a former college football player, so y'all have got to go check him out. Athletes Forum podcast. That comes out every Wednesday, and then we come out every Thursday, which Pops is he comes out, I think it's Monday or Tuesdays on his show. We got a lot of content, so y'all just keep on. We're gonna keep on going in the off season. It's all good because that's why I didn't tune in. That's why I didn't tune in. It's the Georgia Florida basketball game. I turned it on thinking, all right, we're doing okay this season. Dude, I think it was when I turned it off pretty early. It was like 13-2 or something. I said, the hell with this. I said, no, not today, devil. Not today. You're not going to get me to watch this today, devil. So I turned it off, came to my room, and turned on YouTube and watched like other crap. But yeah, he got me on that one. But yeah, y'all need to tune in, man. It's a great channel. I love what we're doing. We're up to 112 subs now, thanks to our guy Isaac. So just keep on, and yeah. Austin, you got any closing things before we get up out of here?
I'm good, man.
YouTube
Baseball season.
Yeah, YouTube, if you copyright this, I'm going to break my computer in two. Y'all have a good night.